Open a book, discover the world. We can read together, explore with me. The adventure begins, the words come alive. There's so much to choose, come read with me. Read with me. Read with me. Read with me.
Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Read, Explore, Ask, Discover. My name is Cassidy Whitehead, and I'm a senior at RHS, and I am really interested in the heart. And this is...
Jeremy Ortiz.
And this is...
Adir.
And we can't wait to give you this exciting program. Alrighty, so if you guys will flip to your first page in your book.
Yes.
Alright, so can you draw for me what you guys think the heart looks like, and no peeking? It's a bit complicated, isn't it? That's not bad. Okay. Okay. What about you? That looks like a sun. Well, in all actuality, the heart looks like this. It has a bunch of valves, and it's pretty complicated looking, right?
Yeah.
Well, today I hope that we can dig in a little deeper and understand what all of these crazy looking parts are. All right? So, what do you guys think that the heart does? What do you think its purpose is? Think of what's inside of your heart.
Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Beeping.
Mm-hmm. And what does blood do?
Keeps you alive.
Mm-hmm. How does it keep you alive, though? What's inside of blood that we really need? What do we breathe in?
Oxygen.
Mm-hmm. And blood carries all of your oxygen that all of your organs need. So this pumps out all of your blood throughout the body so that all of your body gets all this oxygen and the nutrients. Like, do you take vitamins at all?
No.
No? Well, it also carries all your vitamins and nutrients that you need to survive. Alrighty? So how about we go to the next page? Do you maybe want to read off a heart fact?
Yeah. The adult heart pumps about 5 quarts
Got that? Quarts?
of blood each minute, which amounts to
You can skip that.
2,000 gallons of blood each day. Most people
No,
believe.
you don't have to go into the next one. So think about, do you know what a gallon is? Do you know how much that is? Think of milk. A milk gallon. You know what I'm talking about? Big carton about that big.
Yeah.
So, an adult heart, so something about my size, a little bit bigger than yours, pumps out about 2,000 of those milk cartons of blood. That's kind of crazy. That's a lot of blood. All right, you want to read the next one?
Most people believe that the heart is more toward the left chest, when in all
Actuality.
actually the heart is in the
It's located.
and look
Located. That's right.
located in the
Center.
center of your chest between your lungs.
Yep. So your heart is about right here. So a lot of people, like when you do the Pledge of Allegiance and everything, you go like this. It's right to the left, right? Well, it's actually right here. And the reason that you think that it's more towards your left, and here, put your hand right here. And you can kind of feel it beating more towards your left side, right? Well, that's because the bottom of your heart is actually tipped more towards the left. It's not towards the right or in the center down. It kind of goes over, and that's the reason you can feel it. All right. You want to read this one?
Yeah. Heart is about the size of 2 per fist. Blood is about.
Sorry, I think this one. Start here.
Oh. A child's heart is about the size of a
Clenched.
fist, while an adult's heart is about the size of 2 fists.
So your heart is about this big, maybe a little bigger. How big did you think it was before?
I thought it was big.
Really big? Yeah, that's not good. You don't want it to be that huge and take up that much room. So your heart is about this big. So can you do a clench fist for me? Yeah, it's about right there. Well, mine, since I'm almost an adult, mine is probably 2, or if something like that. So it's a little bit bigger. And the last fact I had on here is that blood is about 78% water. So you know how your parents kind of nag you about drinking a bunch of water and staying hydrated? That's why, because your blood is almost 80% water. So you really, really need water to survive. Alrighty, let's get on to the next page. So you guys drew the heart, and you know it looked kind of like a sun or a big clump. Well, this is what it actually looks like. So, would you say it's pretty complicated?
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of parts and a lot of names you have to remember, and it's pretty complicated. So, well, there are 4 chambers in the heart. So you've got your atriums, which are on the top here, and your ventricles, which are on the bottom, and there are valves in between that kind of keep them closed. So think about it like the ventricles and the atriums are rooms. So you've got these rooms, and these little valves are doors, like in between these rooms, and they keep them shut so that no blood can go back in. So why don't we look at the left side of the heart first? So it's pretty complicated to look at the heart as a whole. So let's dig in and go to just the left side so that we can kind of understand what it's doing. So the first part says the pulmonary vein. So let's go back to here and find where the pulmonary vein is. And maybe I have something that can help us out. So let's go to this. So it says the pulmonary vein. Where's the pulmonary vein on here? It's right there. So where is it?
Right at the
No,
top.
it's actually not that one. That's the pulmonary artery. That's the vein. So the blood goes from the pulmonary vein into the left atrium. So it goes from here to here. So with your pencils, can you draw from here to here? So show it coming out of this vein
This
right
vein
here.
right
It doesn't
there.
matter which one because they're the same thing.
So like,
Yep, right into that little room. That works. Okay, and the next one says the atrium contracts. Do you know what contracts mean?
no.
So it kind of has like a spasm almost, like it goes like that. So the atrium is going to contract, so it's pushing that blood out, and the blood flows into your left atrium, into your left ventricle through this valve right here. So let's draw it coming from here into this little room right here. Yep. So now the blood has gone from the atrium to the ventricle. So it's in a different part. And the only way that this valve right here will close is if all the blood has gone from this room here to this room here. It won't go any other way. All right? And then it says when the ventricle is full, this valve closes. Just like I said, it'll close when it senses there's a lot of blood there. And as the ventricle contracts, blood leaves the heart through the aortic valve. Can you find the aortic valve for me, one of you? Yeah, so it's right here.
There.
So on your picture, it would be that hole right there.
There.
So show your this going from there to there. And sometimes these are a little bit harder to, these diagrams are a little hard to decipher. They're pretty complicated. So we have this aortic valve, which is that hole right there. And it's going up this long spiny thing that has things on the top, those 3 little parts. So let's draw this going up here. Yeah. And it goes up here, out of these little 3.
It's like, whoosh.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Here's the most important part of that. Do you know where the blood goes from there?
In your body?
Yep, it goes to the rest of your body. So, based on the fact that the blood is going from your heart to the rest of your body, what do you think the function is of the left side of the heart? So you've got this blood that's pumping out of your heart and it's going to the rest of your body. Why do you think it'd be going to the rest of your body?
Because they don't got enough room.
Well, there's that, and it's also, like I said, that your body needs nutrients and oxygen. So the heart is now pumping it out towards every little bit, even your fingertips, all the way down to your toes. And all that blood is going to go out everywhere, and it's going to give your body oxygen and nutrients. So that is why we have the left side of the heart. All right? You guys ready for the next side of the heart?
Yep.
Alrighty. Now this is completely different. So we had the left side of the heart where it was pumping all this blood out to the rest of your body. This one does something different. Alright? So, it said blood enters your heart through the inferior and superior vena cavas. Can you find those for me? So superior and inferior.
Yeah.
There's the inferior, and superior is right here, because superior means above, beyond, or above, or, I'll skip that. So inferior would be below, and superior would be on top. So those are our vena cavas. So it said the blood is entering the heart through the inferior and superior vena cavas. So why don't we draw arrows coming into both of those? Yeah, it'll actually go here. See that hole right there? That's supposed to correspond with that. I know, it's a little difficult. See? Yep, right there. Exactly. Yep. And it is going into the right atrium. And then from the right atrium into the right ventricle, just kind of like how this happened on the left side. So draw this going into this. Got it? I know, it's a little complicated. It was hard for me to get the heart down. So, all right. And from there, it's going to go up this big thing. This is what you thought the pulmonary vein was. It's the pulmonary artery.
So right here?
Yeah, so it's going to go from here all the way out here. And where do you think that's going to go?
To your lungs.
To your lungs. And do you know what's in your lungs? Breathe in and out. What are you breathing in and out?
You're breathing oxygen, and out is...
You don't need to know that. That's fine. So, it is pumping oxygen into your lung, it is taking this blood that does not have any oxygen. So it's coming in and it's like, hey, I don't have any oxygen. I can't help you. So, the heart is going to pump this oxygen-poor blood into the lungs so that it can get some oxygen to help out the heart and the rest of the organs. So it's going to go and get all of that oxygen and spread it all through your body. So that's the important part. All right, let's move on. Alrighty, here we get to do something real fun. Go ahead and take these. All right. So these are going to symbolize your valves. So we were talking about these valves, and I said, remember that they'll close when all the blood comes into the different chamber of the heart? Well, it's really important that it does that. There are certain heart diseases out there where the valves do not work and the blood will go back into a different spot where it's not supposed to go. And that's not good and very unhealthy, and it's pretty deadly. You don't want that. All right? So what I'm going to have you do is, let's use tube 1. So this is the one without the red thing on top. Can you blow out for me? Pretty easy to blow out of that. You know, nothing's blocking you. All right? And now try sucking in some air. All right. So this kind of symbolizes that the blood can go in and out because there's no valve protecting it. So the blood can go back into the atrium and it can do some harmful things. So let's do tube number 2. Can you blow out for me? All right. Here, we might want to face it like this with the tape up. Alrighty. Now can you try sucking in? You have to do it really hard though. Yeah, that's that vacuum kind of noise. That's pretty hard though. So would you say it's a lot harder to suck in air from this one than this one? Yeah. Yeah. So, what did I say this symbolizes? A valve. Yep. Alrighty. Alrighty. So, now time for some exercise. Do you guys know how to calculate your heart rate?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so like I said, you're going to put your pointer and your middle finger here, and can you feel a pulse?
Yes.
You can feel that? Alrighty. And sometimes it's a little hard to feel that pulse, so sometimes you can calculate your heart rate by just putting it on your chest and kind of feeling your pulse there. So, the average heart rate for, how old are you guys?
9.
9. Yep. Alright, perfect. The average heart rate for you guys is 70 to 110 beats per minute. So your heart is beating 110 times in a minute. That's a lot. It's pretty hard worker. But for me, it's from 60 to 100. Now, some athletes have really, really, really short heart rates. Sometimes as low as 40. Like Michael Phelps. Do you guys know Michael Phelps? He was
No.
Really? He was a swimmer in the Olympics, and he had a resting heart rate of 40. That's kind of nuts. I mean, his heart was just kind of doing little beats because of how athletic he is. All right? So what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you stand up for 10 seconds and just kind of take your heart rate, and that's going to be our initial heart rate. All right? So I'm going to calculate 10 seconds. You guys tell me how many times your heart beat. All right? And are you going to be all right? And go. All right. How many times?
12.
12? Alrighty. So you would probably have a resting heart rate around, well, probably in the 80s. So that's not bad. You're pretty average for your age. What about you? No? It's a little hard to do that. Alrighty? Now, I'm going to have you guys lay down. Pretend you guys are taking a nap. Just kind of relax for a minute and let your heart kind of settle. Alright? Just pretend taking a nap. That's fun. Alright? Just kind of let me know when your heart rate's a little lower and you feel relaxed. Alright, you guys want to calculate it?
Yeah.
Okay. And go. Okay.
I can barely feel it.
Barely feel it because you were really relaxed. So we weren't even able to get a result because of how relaxed you and your heart were. What about you? Same. Alrighty. Now, here comes the exercise. You guys know how to do jumping jacks?
Yes.
You do? Alrighty. So I'm going to have you stand over there. So we have a little room and I don't get kicked. I'm going to have you guys do 20 jumping jacks. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Or actually, let's do jumping jacks for 10 seconds. Alright? And go. Alright. Now calculate it. Okay, what was it?
It was really fast.
Really fast? Okay. Sometimes it's kind of hard to hear or feel how fast your heart's going, and you can't even calculate how many numbers it was, you know? So, you can tell that exercise really speeds up your heart. That's because it's trying to get oxygen to the rest of your body because you're exercising. Okay? Now let's do one last exercise. You guys run in place. Can you guys do that? All right, for 10 seconds. You're at stretch. All right, get limbered up. You might want to go over there so I don't get kicked. All righty. All right, 10 seconds to run in place. And go. He's doing it a lot faster than you. He's going to beat you. And go. All righty, now calculate it. All right, what was it?
Medium.
Yeah, you don't. Do you think it was a little bit higher than jumping jacks, or?
A little bit higher than jumping jacks.
Yeah. So that was a lot more work.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So now that we've done some exercises, what are some other things that you guys think that you can do to keep your heart healthy? Do you hear people sometimes complain about their diet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really need to eat some good food. So what are some good foods that you think you could have to make your heart healthy?
Salad.
Salad?
Carrot.
Okay. Yeah, carrots are really good for your heart. What else? Any fruits that you think are good?
Potatoes?
Potato's not a fruit, but... Well, do you guys like fish?
No, I don't like fish.
You don't like fish? All right. Well, some fish like salmon and tuna have a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, which are really, really good for your heart. I know it's a really long name, and fatty acid sounds kind of funny. But salmon and tuna are really good for your heart. And almonds and walnuts are really good. Do you guys like nuts?
Yeah. Yes.
You do? I like trail mix. That's one of my favorite snacks. Okay? And then we were talking fruit. Blueberries and cranberries and oranges are so good for your heart. Making you hungry? I'm sorry. And oatmeal. Do you guys like oatmeal?
No.
No? Too mushy for you?
Maybe I know that. I forgot.
And then, don't get too crazy with this one, but do you know what else is good for your heart? Dark chocolate. Don't tell your parents I said that, though. It has to be at least 70% cocoa, though. But dark chocolate is actually good for your heart. All right? So what are some foods that you can think of that are really unhealthy that you eat?
Candy.
Do you eat a lot of candy?
Let's see. You brought candy?
Even after Halloween?
No, he brought some.
Mm-hmm.
On Halloween, I saved some of my candy.
So you don't eat all of it?
I eat some.
Are there any other foods that you guys eat that you think are not so good for your diet?
Let's see. Chicken.
Chicken's okay. It's not terrible. Do you guys like pie, cake, any of that? Ice cream?
Yeah, I like ice cream. I like pumpkin pie.
Yeah. Well, some of that stuff's really bad for you, but here I have a list of all really, really healthy foods. So an example I gave you was oatmeal and blueberries. That's a pretty good combo, and it sounds pretty tasty if you like oatmeal. So I said one of my guilty pleasures is I like yogurt, but sometimes it has a lot of sugar in it, especially when you get like those little Yoplait things.
Yeah.
They're a lot of sugar. So I said I would be willing to trade in yogurt with lots of sugar for oatmeal with blueberries. Because that sounds like a pretty good trade, doesn't it? It's good for your heart.
Yeah.
So what are some trades that you think you could make with your diet? So what are some foods that you like that are pretty bad for you? You said candy? What about a piece of dark chocolate instead?
Well, I don't like that much dark chocolate.
Really?
No.
Sometimes they put fruits and nuts in it, and it's pretty good. Take your time. Nothing? Nothing? Do you guys eat pretty good?
Not that much.
Well, what's bad then?
Cookies?
Cookies? Alright, cookies are pretty bad for you. So, what do you think that you could do instead of cookies that would be a lot better for you off of this list?
Oatmeal cookie.
Oatmeal cookies. There you go. I mean, and not add too much sugar to it, and maybe put some nuts and fruits in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really good, and that'd be a good choice. A real responsible choice for you to take care of your heart like that. All right? So what did you guys learn today about the heart? Is there anything that surprised you that you didn't know, that you didn't learn in science class?
That there's lots of stuff on your heart.
I mean, yeah, look at this. It's pretty complicated. Yeah. Anything else? Did you know there were that many things coming out of the heart?
Nope.
No? I mean, yeah, because you always think that it's kind of simple when you look at it.
Just
kind
breathe
of,
in and
yeah, but
calculate.
it's a machine. It's like having a little machine inside of your body that works to protect you. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me, Jeremy and Adir. You guys were awesome, and thank you for helping me learn a little bit about the heart, too. And thank you for joining us, too. I have a couple of books here that might interest you that have to do with the heart, like Hear Your Heart by Paul Showers. It's a pretty good book. And that Valuable Valves activity that I did is from this, the one where we were blowing out air and sucking in. That was from this one. Really cool activities that all have to do with the heart. So you can pick these up at your local library. Well, thank you for joining us on our program today with Read.
Open a book, discover the world. We can read together, explore with me. The adventure begins, the words come alive. There's so much to choose, come read with me.